Hello, John Phillips with Mansfield University Computer Science Department. And in this video, we're going to look at using the VI or Vim text editor. And I'm just going to give a brief introduction to it. And so we, in previous videos, have set up a Linux server. And so I have that up and running on AWS. And I need to click on PuTTY here on a Windows computer, or if you're using an OS X computer, use your terminal and SSH. I'm going to load in my settings, and we see the IP address has changed. So I'm going to grab the newest IP address and paste it in and save this. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Can click yes on the security alert, log in as, I'll go ahead and log in as JDoe. And the password, I believe I changed, or MUCIS if you're still using the default password. Okay, so I'm logged in as JDoe. And so once again, I'm just going to very quickly in this video demonstrate Vim. So ls to see our files. Maybe we'll go over to project directory and see what's there. ls, there's a test file. I'll create a new file using Vim. So Vim, on some systems you can just type VI, as is the case on this Ubuntu server. Other computers you might have to type VIM to get it started. You can do it either way on the Ubuntu server. So I'll go ahead and type Vim. And then the name of the file you want to create. So I'll just call this test2. You can have an extension if you want. So it could be test2.java or test2.php, whatever you want it to be. All right. So Vim is different than most text editors that you're used to working with in that it starts out in command mode. And so if you right away start typing, you'll actually be giving it a series of commands, which is usually not what you want to do. So normally the command you want to give if you want to start typing right away is press the letter I. And there's a difference between lowercase and uppercase commands, but by pressing the letter I, it puts you in the insert mode, which you see down at the bottom of the screen. And now you can start typing. And if you want to indent, you can hit the tab key. You can set what kind of a spacing you want your tabs. If you want soft or hard tabs, you can hit the space bar a couple times. And okay, so that gives us a few lines. Now, if I go up to the top here, I'm still in the insert mode. When you get better and better with Vim, you stay in the insert mode less and less. A lot of the times as a programmer, what you'll be doing is editing an existing program, maybe typing something a little bit new to it, or going through and fixing issues or bugs that it may have. And so Vim is really good. It's really fast. It works great with large files. And let me just copy these lines a few times so we have a few more lines to work with. So we have 4 lines here. Most or many of the commands in Vim you can prefix with a number, and then it'll operate that many times. So how do you get out of this insert mode so you can give a command? Well, you just hit the escape key. So I hit the escape key. I'm out of the insert mode. I can still move around with my arrow keys. But Vim, as much as possible, wants you to keep your fingers on the home row of the keyboard and not have to touch the mouse or not have to touch other keys like the arrow keys. So it has a way you can move around just by keeping your fingers in the home row. So the letter K, let's see. Okay, I was going to say K moves. I don't usually do it this way because I'm not an expert Vim user. The letter J on the home row, your index finger should be right on the J. That moves you down. Your middle finger's over the letter K. That moves you up a line. So you can go down and you can go up like that. To go to the right, the letter L, and to go to the left, the letter H. Now, let me try using a number. What if I did 4L? See, that moved me over 4 spots, and so it's like pressing L 4 times. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so I am just going to move over to the beginning. And by the way, there's commands that can get you to the beginning and end of the line right away too. There's all sorts of these commands. So as you use Vim more and more, you get faster and faster with it. So for example, $ moves me to the end of the line, and 0 moves me to the beginning of the line. Okay, a couple other little commands. GG, lowercase, gets you to the very beginning of your file, and capital G gets you to the very end of the file. All right, so anyway, I just want to be at the very beginning there, and I want to copy those 4 lines. Now the command to copy is yank, and it yanks your lines into a buffer. So if you just go YY, that does the yank command, and that gets a single line. And what if I do 4YY? Okay, down at the bottom it says 4 lines yanked. I'm going to come down here, and now I'm going to hit the letter P to paste. Down again, I'm back to using my arrow keys, so bad habit, sorry. And so every time I hit P, it pastes. So YY to yank, and then letter P paste below the cursor. Okay, so that gives us a few lines to work with. Well, that's how you yank a line. What if you actually want to delete a line? Say I want to delete, this is line 1 right here. The command is DD, 2 lowercase d's. D is in dog. And see, the line gets deleted. Now if you said 4DD, it deletes 4 lines. DD again to delete 1 more. Now after you delete a line, if you hit the letter P, you can go somewhere else, and that's in the buffer right now. Whatever the last thing you yanked or deleted is in a buffer, and so you can paste it. Another thing you could do is, while you're in the command mode, is hit the letter U. That undoes whatever you just did. Okay. So those are just a few of the commands that Vim has. It has a lot of commands. In command mode, if you hit the letter X, it deletes what's under the cursor. If, let's say I'm right here, and I want to delete everything from here until the end of the line. That would be D $. And so it gets that much. To delete a single word, if you're on that word somewhere, it's DW. And I just held down D a bunch of times. DW. To undo that little mistake I just made, I'll just hit the letter U. So DW, and that deletes a word. And then a lot of times you might have a special symbol and you want to delete up to that symbol. So say I want to delete from here until the next time it sees the letter U. So that's D, and then F to find, and then whatever letter or symbol you want it to find. And so that deleted up to the U of using. Now, after you're done with Vim, how do you get out of it? So there's several ways, but I'm going to show you one way. Make sure you're in the command mode like we are, and you hit the letter. If you're not in the command mode, just hit the escape key. And then you hold down the shift and press the colon, and that puts you in the last line mode. So down at the bottom of the screen, you see a colon. And then, if you just want to quit without saving, you can hit Q. But if you made any changes at all to the files we've done, then you have to do Q exclamation point. So that quits without saving. None of our changes would be saved. What if you want to save what you've done? Well, it's just :W. That will write this file. And if you want to keep working on it, you could just then hit enter right here. But if you definitely want to write and quit, then it's :WQ. And then that will write the file and then quit. And then we're back to where we were. We could use the cat command to type it out and see what we have so far. Okay, and so to get back into it, just Vim or VI test 2. And we're back into it. let's see, there was, I think, a couple more things I wanted to show you. One thing, a lot of times when programming, I'd like to see what line number I'm on. And so the command for that is colon set NU. So that turns on line numbering. And so we see our line numbers there. And then to turn it off again, you could go colon set no NU. So no numbering, and that turns it off. There's also smart indenting that it uses for, and it can recognize what programming language you're doing once you save the file with an extension. So there's all sorts of these little features you can turn on and off. And if you find you like a certain set of settings, rather than setting them each time you open a file, you can put this in your Vim RC file. Let me get out of this. See if we have one of those. So I'll type CD to get back to my home directory and ls-la to see all the hidden files. And there I have a .vim info, but I think we need a .vim rc. Now over in the etc directory, we should have a Vim folder. There it is. So let me get into that. And it has the global Vim RC for all users, which, as I said, you can override that by placing it in your own home folder. If you're the system administrator or you log on as the Ubuntu user, you can change the settings. Let's just type that out real quick and see what's in there. And so you see there's a lot of settings here. And you can go and look through that, and there's all sorts of people have posted their own favorite settings that you can look up online and see if you'd like to, set it a little differently. You can make some changes here globally, or just do your own private version in your own directory. All right, CD to get back. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show on Vim. The other thing is there's all sorts of resources out there on Vim. If you just do a quick search on Vim cheat sheet, here's one, and you might make your own cheat sheet, your own note sheet that'll show, that would have what all of your most used commands might be. And then you could go down and look at some of these and get some new ideas on faster ways to do things. There's several interactive Vim tutorials. This one, openvim.com. There's one called vim-adventures.com. It's a game that helps you learn these Vim commands. And there's lots of tutorials out there. And so this one starts out by telling you why it's a good idea to learn Vim. And one reason is it's on almost all Unix and Linux boxes. VI is at least, and most of them also have Vim installed by default. It's scalable, so you can just edit config files, or a lot of programmers use it as their favorite text editor, because as you use it more and more, and as you learn more of these short commands, you can get very fast with it, and it'll work on just about any size program that you might have to work on. So, and then finally, it's powerful. It lets you do search and replace using regular expressions. It just, as you learn more about it, you'll see that it can really do a lot with just very few key presses. Okay, so there's a few references, but just do a search on it, and you can find lots of others, I'm sure, and pick one out that you like, and just spend a little bit of time going through it. I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.